Hi, my name is Ben from Vectrix, and in this video I want to explain the PhantomMail package. So this is a package that allows you to send fake emails about various subjects. You can also easily change this, and you can use this to test all kinds of flows that act on incoming emails. So for example, classification pipelines or entity extraction pipelines, and this allows you to really set up these flows and test them and also showcase them without using actual personal or production data. So this package is created using LangGraph and their Python API, and that makes it super easy to debug if you have a problem or if you're developing this. And it also allows you to really easily and generate a nice overview and chart of the flow that you are running. So in this video, I'm going to explain how the package works, how I've created it, and how the LangGraph API works. And I'm also going to show how you can easily adjust this. So first, a demo of how this package works. So basically we have this flow here. I'm going to open a new screen, and then you can actually see that when we start the flow, one of these 4 nodes will be randomly selected. So basically these are 4 kinds of emails that can be sent. You can send an email about a customs declaration, about a new order, about a question, or about a complaint. We then write up the draft of the email, then we convert it to HTML, and then we send the actual email using the recent Python package. So let's test it. So as a recipient, I will give this test email address. Let's see if it works. So it's going to generate a question. As you can see, it generated a question, then it converts it to HTML, and then it will send the email. And if we go to our Outlook now, you can actually see that we've received this question. So you can also easily schedule this, so it sends test emails every X amount of time using a cron job, and I will also explain how you can do this. But maybe let's do another test. So let's open a new thread. Let's paste a recipient here. And okay, so here it will generate a declaration. So it will take some more time because declarations are generally larger emails. It will also generate a PDF attachment, so it makes it even more realistic. Okay, so dear valued, so we are pleased to provide you with a customs declaration. Please find attached the HTML. And so it generated a fake PDF file with some customs information. So this allows us to really easily test all kinds of flows. So how did I build this? So to start with, I'm going to open my cursor. So as you can see, this is a LangGraph flow with some components. In LangGraph, you have nodes, and all the boxes you see here, these are nodes, and these are actually small functions, Python functions that you can run and that run in a graph. So I'm going to show you so you see the visualization of the graph here. If I open it, this same graph, you can actually see that. Maybe I will open it on the side so it's even more clear. So we see the 4 nodes here. So you can actually see we first add the nodes to our graph. And then when we have all the nodes defined in here, we connect them using edges. And so we first start by randomly picking one of these 4 nodes. So this is actually the conditional edge. So I will show you in the code how we do this. So we first random pick one of these edges, and then depending on what edge is chosen, for example, let's say we start with a question, generate question, then we go from generate question to body to HTML. So basically generate question will generate a draft of a question, we convert it to HTML, and then finally in the next step we go from body to HTML to send email, where we will send the actual HTML to our email client. So let's go over the actual nodes. So this is the interesting part. So basically the first thing we do is, so we have our 4 types of emails we can send. You can easily create new kinds of emails and just add extra nodes. So it's very easy to adjust. But in this case, we have 4: order, question, complaint, and declaration. So we have a random choice. So depending on the choice that we make, one of these next nodes is called. So let's say in this case, we have a question. So then we go to generate question. So basically what we do is I've created a function, transport question generator, which is here. And basically what this will do, it will generate the attributes we can use to generate a question. So basically, if I open this here, so there are all kinds of questions a user can ask or an email can ask. So this one is about a pickup, about goods that are delivered, about which route is planned for a certain transport, about stops. So basically we also pick a random subject for the question, and then we generate some fake customer details. So we then pass that back on to the model here. So basically now we have a question and information about the client who's asking the question, and then we pass this on to our system. So first we give a system message. You are an assistant that generates fake emails. The emails are sent for Vectrix Logistics, and then we add a human message, and we actually say generate a fake question based on the following data, write all the details in the body, and then we give the subject and the client information we just showed. So after this, we're gonna pass on to the body to HTML node. So basically what we do here, so first of all, we take our large language model and we attach a structured output to it, email. Why do we do this? Because for the actual email, we only need the HTML body. We don't need anything else the LLM might say. So we have a function here, a class here that basically says subject and body and only return those two attributes. We don't want any other information. So then we also, to get a lot of variation in the output, we have also 3 writing styles we can use. So fast and with spelling mistakes, detailed and polite, or in the original language of the sender. So basically what we do is we give an instruction, convert the draft email to HTML and return it as a function call. So the function call is basically a dictionary with a subject and an email body. And then your writing style should be then one of these 3 randomly selected. And then you can also add some history, context, and custom HTML formatting to the email to make it look more realistic. So basically, we will then send this to the model, and then the model will reply to us with an actual HTML content of the email. And what we then do is we will use the resend package. So you see the sent email. This is the last node. And we will actually pass on the body and the subject and the recipients we actually define in our graph. We pass it on to a resend, and a resend, we can actually see that here. I think it's in the helpers or in sent email. Yeah. So basically resend, it's a very easy to use API. They have a generous free tier. I think you can send 5,000 emails a month for free. And this allows you to actually send emails easily using their Python API. So you just initiate their client using the recent API key, you add some attributes, and then you actually just send email. It's just that easy. So this was actually the general flow. So for each type of question, of course, there is another function. So let's say if you want to generate a declaration, I have a function that generates information about a declaration. Maybe we can quickly open this. So basically, if you want to generate a declaration for the customs, it contains information about what goods are being transported, etc., etc. So I have a class here using Python Faker that generates a lot of fake information about a specific transport, and we then also just pass that on to the model. We ask, create an email for this, and then we do the same steps as before. Special here is that we will also create a PDF. So basically what I do is, let me go back here. So what we do here is we first generate the fake declaration information. What we then do is we actually ask the model to create an HTML file based on that fake information, and we then use a package here. You can see it. It's in the helpers packages. Here. HTML to PDF. So we then pass that HTML to a package called XHTML to PDF, and then we generate a PDF on that, and then we add that PDF as an attachment to our flow to make it really realistic. So in the email, we refer to one of the attachments that's being sent, because in our real life flows, in our classification flows we develop for our clients, we have to base the classification not only on the body of the email, but also on the attachments that were sent together with the email. And so that's why we created this little extra class, let's say, to really also test with the attachments. So once the graph is created, you can then easily use it using various ways. So the easiest way is just to call it directly in a Jupyter notebook, of course, for testing. So in the example notebook here, we can actually see our flow again. So we just import the graph. Yeah, I just load my environment variable. So basically it's my API key and everything to call the Gemini model. So basically I forgot to tell that in here you can actually also see that we call the new Gemini Flash 2.0 model. It's super cheap. I think it's 40 cents or something like for a million tokens. So it's almost for free. So you can actually just keep generating these emails and it will cost you almost nothing. So it's really easy to do. But if we go back to here, first we import our graph. Then with this line of code, we can actually visualize it like you see here. So that helps to really see, okay, is the graph that we created according to what I had in mind? So it gives you a visual confirmation of that the graph is like connected, that the nodes are connected in the right way. And then we invoke the graph with some extra parameters, namely the recipient. So this can be any email address you provide. The sender email address also it has to originate from a domain you own, of course, because you cannot use this to spam. So you need to have a domain name you can use. You can link in resend, and then you can use that domain name to send these emails. So maybe if I visualize the response, we can see that it worked or not. So we can easily see all the steps of our flow. So basically, yeah. So it did create an actual email. You can see the HTML here. So this basically by visualizing the response, you see all the information that's contained within the graph. Another easy thing to do is you can also just use LangSmith, which is also a tool created by the LangChain, the company LangChain, which allows you to see all the traces. But there are enough videos from them explaining how LangSmith works, so I won't go into that here. So basically, this is how you call the flow. But if you want to deploy that to production, it's actually very easy to do. So basically what you can do is you can deploy, you can use LangGraph build, which is a command to actually build a Docker container, and you can run that Docker container in the cloud. And then using the LangGraph SDK, you can actually launch the flow like I did here. And you can also, which is very easy, you can actually create a cron job. So the graph here is named graph. You can schedule it using this cron string, for example, will run the graph every minute. So if I would run this every minute, an email would be sent to this email address. And this allows you to continuously test flows that are based on or have to interact based on incoming emails. So hopefully this gives you some inspiration on how to test flows that are based on emails and how LangGraph can be used to really easily create or generate these kinds of things and make it actually very comprehensive, and you can easily see what's happening. Hope this helps. Bye bye.